Let's get red collar. Red collar.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity to ask a question.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm good. You sound very, very white.
I am white,
Yeah.
but I am a good faith actor.
I, I mean, you're the whitest sounding guy that I've heard in about 3 years. I got sound white. That laugh is white. God damn,
Oh,
boy.
okay. Um,
Boy, probably got some Rice Krispie treats in your oven right now. God.
marshmallow as fuck, motherfucker. So,
There we
so I am curious, and like I said, I am trying to act in good faith here.
Yes.
Um, wi- so with the concept of foundational Black Americans, how like with that Demi right there,
Yeah.
how do you actually differentiate between the foundational Black Americans and say like Caribbean or like straight up
After
African, Nigerian?
we differentiate because of the lineage. We're non-immigrants. Foundational Black Americans, we are non-immigrants. None of us immigrated here. We're from the people who built this country up from the bottom up. There was no United States until foundational Black Americans built it. So we have a deep rooted history on this land. We are actually foundational Black Americans are indigenous to the United States because we built it and we were here from the very beginning. So we have a culture that's deep and rich, a lineage that's deep and rich, heritage deep and rich, a patriotism that's deep and rich, that's very unique. We had an ethnogenesis, not just a genetic ethnogenesis, we had a spiritual ethnogenesis. Our spiritual energy is way different from any other group from being on this land so long. So that's how we differentiate. So when we talk about our reparations claim, that's going to go to the descendants of freedmen to foundational Black Americans. So that's going to go specifically to us. And we kind of know when there are people who are Black and who are not from the lineage. We know, and white people know too. Your community knows more than anybody. They know too. Because when
Does
you go, yeah,
does it go back a certain number of generations, or do you genetic test for it, or what's the criteria?
the criteria, if your family was here on the censuses in 1870, if you can go back to the 1870 census forms, you are a foundational Black American. That makes sense?
Sure. So would you be, like in terms of reparations, in
Yeah.
this kind of thought experiment, if we're gonna pay it out, if the or if the U.S. federal government's gonna pay it out, not me, but we,
Well, you're
if
part of
you're
the government.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
pay it out, how do you what's the enforcement mechanism? Do you like straight up genetic test everybody and then go through all the family trees, or how
Oh,
how does that work mechanically
yeah.
speaking?
Yeah, I'm for the genetic testing. I'm for that. I've been a very big advocate of that because my stuff genetically tests back to North Carolina, going to the 1700s. So yeah, I'm for that. But we don't even have to do that. We can just do the paperwork. We have to establish somewhat of a Freedmen's Bureau and just look at people's documents. And most of us who are foundational Black Americans, we can actually trace our documents back to those 1870 census forms. So if you're able to do that, we should be good to go.
How do you deal with like the colorism issue, or like people who are products of Reaper, or untoward behavior from southern
So, yeah, but
slavers? How does that work? I'm just curious. I'm being earnest.
right,
I'm
right,
not.
right. Listen, I got it. If you're here now and you're classified as Black and your lineage goes back to the 1800s, I mean, you're still a foundational Black American. You still qualify. Yes, there was some vile stuff happening on those plantations with those white supremacists, but we survived that and we're still here. So yeah, there was a lot of being going on those plantations. That was something that's a reality. But again, we survived it and we're still foundational Black Americans. And if you're classified as Black today and you can trace a black person on that census form from the 1870s, then you're good to go. It's real simple. It's very, very simple.
So you go by this the 1870s census, or
That's
is
how
that
that,
the is
that's
that
going to be
the
that's going to be the main criteria to determine the freedman status. Because when we get into court, we're going to use terms like freedman, and you had freedmen's and Negro listed on those census forms during that time. So that's how we can prove that people were already here on this land, so that people who came in the 1960s can't say, hey, look at me, I'm a foundational black American. Okay, where's your paperwork? And if they don't have paperwork that goes past 1970, then that's going to be questionable. But again, most foundational black Americans, our paperwork goes to the 1870s. Mine goes to the 1700s. I can get on ancestry.com. I can go back to 1750 North Carolina. And if I were to do some deeper digging, I can go back deeper than that. Let me get my brother in here, brother Maroc in here. Brother Maroc in the building. What's up, fam? Brother Maroc.
What up, Tariq?
My man, how are you, sir?
Doing all right. I just had two things real quick. Demi earlier, she quite literally said she doesn't know her own lineage and her ancestry. She said you asked her her background. She said I don't know. So I think you missed that part.
Her
Um,
dad, her dad. Yeah. She her dad, and she's her mother was a drug addict, and she was adopted by other relatives.
Okay, yeah. So I think that was like one of the biggest markers there. But the other point was you had a Somali bull on here the other day. He was talking about all of our inventions were from white people. I just
Okay.
wanted to say that in order for you to be innovative like that, you got to understand nature. You got to have you got to be like agrarian culture, and we were very much that. That's how Lewis Lattimore came up with the light bulb and his inventions, or George Washington Carver. These were real people who had an understanding of nature and were from the agrarian culture in which we were. We can't learn civilization from cannibals.
Oh
And
yeah.
I land there.
Oh yeah, my man. Real talk, man. We gotta fam, we need to really understand how our ancestors were so deeply in tune to nature, being out there, um, digging with dealing with the agriculture. Y'all understand, man? There's and I'm gonna be talking about this in the new book that I'm writing, talking about the Majora spirit and stuff like that. Um, our folks were really in tune with nature, and they understood plants. George Washington Carver, he could communicate with plants, and there's a name, there's a kind of energy that comes from plants that scientists they've detected. There's an energy that comes from plants, and our people knew how to tap in with that. Our people knew how to tap into that energy that the plants would give off. They just tapped into it. It was called biomass. It was something kind of I forgot the name of it, but it was there's a certain name of energy that comes from plants. All plants have, and our folks just knew. They kind of knew how to tap into it. They just kind of knew how to click in with it, man. Spiritually, psychologically, they knew how to tap in with plants, and that's why they knew that we were the healers. I want folks to really get this in your brain. Foundational Black Americans, we were the first doctors over here. We were healing these people going back to the 1600s, 1700s, we were the ones healing the people. They didn't have a medical system as we know it. They would have to go to us to heal them, and we would get our freedom coming up with things and ways to cure people. We would stop plagues and diseases that would happen. They would have to go to us for this stuff. The root workers and the conjurers, that was a big thing, man. We made even after slavery, and I've discussed this before, and we got a book called the Secrets of the Root, a little booklet. After slavery, a lot of foundational Black Americans were making a grip, working as doctors and root workers. Black and white people were going to Black healers. That was a big thing, man. That was a big thing after slavery. Why y'all think George Washington Carver wasn't the only one? That's just the one who got well known because he was clicked in with Henry Ford and he had a lot of media attention. But we had George Washington Carvers all over the place. You understand? And George Washington Carver, he created the science of biochemistry using plants and converting those things into chemical means. He was the father of that. They called it chemergy, but it's basically biochemistry. We created that stuff, man. That came from us. That's why some of us who had those old school grandmothers, they had all these concoctions and they knew how to heal. That's why where my Gen X's like me? Where my Gen X's? Where my Gen X's? Where y'all at? I know we got a lot of Gen X's in here. Y'all remember us Gen X's growing up? We weren't sick like that. Us Gen X's growing up, we weren't sick for shit. That's why we be outside all the time. We hardly ever got sick. Where my Gen X's? All that sitting in the house coughing and shit. Man, please. Nana and them used to have all types of concoctions and shit they used to give us. Man, we were outside. Man, we were outside kicking it, dude. We were not sickly. We weren't sickly at all like that. Now these kids now be wheezing and all types of little sicknesses. They sick every week. They nose running all over the damn place. Yeah, the environment. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff just killing the immune system of these kids now. You know, but we had grandparents who they knew what to put together to make sure we're good. We weren't going to the doctor like that. We damn sure weren't running in and out of the hospital. That was a no-no with Gen Xers, by the way. That's another thing. Gen Xers and in the generation before that, we weren't in and out the damn hospital for every damn thing. We weren't running in and out the hospital. We rarely went to the hospital. I think when I was a kid, I think I was in the hospital like twice. I bust my head, hit my head on a pole, and shit, that might have been it. No, 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 no. I hit my. We would go to the hospital if we got like a stab wound, something. No, no, I bust my head and I cut my leg. So yeah, we go get stitches. Yeah, only that's when the Gen X's we had to go to the hospital when we had to get some stitches. That's it. Other than that, we were good. Yeah, we were good to damn go. We were tough back in the day, and our grandparents and parents they had all of these concoctions that they used to give us. So we were good money. They knew what to give you. They knew what to give you to drink and eat. They knew. And we had those grandmothers that would grow food. My grandmother, we would get store-bought stuff too, but Granny had a garden. How many of y'all grandmamas had a garden and your mama had a little garden in the back? A lot of us Gen X's, some of your parents and grandparents still had that little garden. Yeah, so they knew how to grow their stuff, the whole shebang. So we would eat organic stuff straight out grandma's backyard. Yeah. They understood, man. They were clicked in with nature. They were really clicked in with nature, and they knew how to heal, um, the whole shebang. And they started busting that up. They started making the root workers negative because then they wanted to corporatize the medicine. When the Rockefellers and all of these people, when they got a hold of it, they start putting patents on everything. So now all of the natural um, herbal root workers, they had to say, oh, what y'all doing is evil. Oh, they had to really demonize them in the media. And then they had to use those petrochemicals to make medicines. That's where the cancers start coming from. That's when we started getting cancer all over the place. All right. That's when all the damn diseases popped up. When they started using petrochemicals, they'll find what the root workers were doing and they'll say, okay, that can cure a cold, or that can help with this, that can we'll take that and we're going to put it with these petrochemicals that we got patents on. The petrochemicals, yeah, your nose will stop running, but then you're going to get a tumor from these petrochemicals that we're using to put the capsules in, to put the medicines in, because we put a patent on that. You can't patent the herb, but what you can patent is the capsule to put it in. You see how the game works? Yeah, we'll patent that. That's why when you look at those capsules, they be having serial numbers and shit on them. You go look at you some medicine. Go find some medicine. You see serial numbers on them. Yeah. And they use those petrochemicals, and that was the Rockefellers and all of that. And then when folks started getting cancer, the Rockefellers did a whammy bammy and created the American Cancer Association. And they were like, hey, you know what? All this stuff that we're selling you over there at that building, it ain't giving nobody cancer. It's coming from something else. So they ran a whole finesse on everybody. But I digress. Speaking of Tether, we got North. Okay. Do y'all want to hear Tether? A whining Tether. Okay, let's hear from the whining Tether side of the game right now. North, what's happening? And I don't want to hear too much whine and Tetherisms, but North, what's happening?
Nah, I was just wondering why you running from GT. I don't get it. Like,
What is
why
GT?
don't GT.
Who the hell is GT?
You had him on your last two spaces.
Okay, I don't remember all y'all Tethers, man. I don't remember y'all Tethers by
Tethers, yeah.
I don't be remembering y'all Tethers. But y'all Tethers be having a weird sense of importance. Like I remember y'all. Why you running from Doniyamo? You don't want that smoke from Unduge.
No, you know who he is. You run it.
Talking about. I don't know y'all musty niggas. Man, if you don't know how much I don't know and give a damn about y'all Tethers, nobody does, dude. Nobody cares. I don't know who GT is. He's probably somebody who call up. You think I'm thinking about you musty Negroes when I'm not doing these broadcasts? I don't remember y'all. But you here, so what's on your mind?
Wait. The FBAs were so musty. You made them deodorant. You said here. You stink. So here's some root work deodorant. That's how musty the FBAs are. So what are you talking about?
And I got deodorant for Tethers. It's called bushmeat scent. Okay, it's gonna smell like the porcupines that you eat. That's gonna make you feel right at home. So North, what's on your mind? Because you're already boring everybody.
No, bring up GT. Like, why are you scared of
What,
GT? I don't get it.
what's on you? What's on your mind? I don't know who no damn GT is. What's on your
You,
mind?
you do know. You keep running from him. You knocked him down. He was on with Randy Short. You knocked him down. Said he was trolling. He wasn't trolling. Bring up GT.
Well, you here? Why you here? You his Jada and he's Will. Why you
No, I
um
just don't. I cooked you so bad.
you calling for your man? Well, what is that? How you calling up co-signing your boo thing? How come you can't speak? Why you trying to get
Well,
another?
you
Why you trying to call up for your musty boo thing? Where you scared of GT? You want none of him? What the hell kind of you moist Tethers are the worst? I
sir, you the one in the Diddy video.
here. I'm up here calling up for your damn boo thing. Oh, you don't want that GT pressure. You don't want it. Who the hell? Y'all niggas sitting up in the room. Y'all probably in the same apartment with each other. Across the room, looking at each other, naked. I'm gonna have him call you. The hell wrong with you? Calling up, talking about another dude. Why don't you say what you gotta say? Little moist, musty thing. I don't remember who no damn GT is. Yeah, GT stands for Goofy Tether. I don't know you tethers. I don't know one tether from another. Y'all all just a big blur of must. I don't differentiate none of y'all. Good grief. Lord, I don't care about no whoever he is. I don't remember none of y'all niggas. I just don't. Good grief. All right, let me get some more people in here. Let me get some more people in here. Y'all raise your hand if y'all ready to chop it up. Speaking of root work, yeah, go to rootworkstyle.com. Very good deodorant. Rave reviews for the deodorant. That's probably why that Tether is so mad. He probably bought some and his body rejected it. Say, what is this shit? I'm still musty, nigga. I want a refund. Like, no, nigga. The deodorant works. Your must is just different, brother. You need more. You need to get about 3 bottles and rub all 3 of them scents on your ass. You need to mix scents. You need to make a little musty daiquiri of deodorant to get your ass. Mix all the scents together, nigga. Make a deodorant cocktail for your funky ass. That's what you need. What is this shit? Now you got the deodorant bottle musty. All right. So yeah, that root work is working overtime. All right. But it'll work on you. It's designed for that kind of must too. It's some heavy stuff. But you do have to bathe. All right. That's one thing you gotta do, North. You gotta hop in and take a bath. Now I know you grew up in a river somewhere, but you gotta wash off in that river. All right. Hit them underarms real quick and then put the root work on. Don't put it on top of the funk. That's what you've been doing, and it's not working for you. Good Lord. And then rinse off some of the elephant piss smell. All right. Because it's not really designed for animal scents. Because you got giraffe pee on you, and that don't wash off easily. Oh goodness. All right. Let me get some more people in here. A lot of folks in here. Okay. Y'all raise your hand if you're ready. Raise your hand if you're ready. Where's my lady? My lady was down there folding clothes and she disappeared. My lady be disappearing like a fucking vampire. Where'd she go? Um, let me see. Let's get do the right thing. Let's do the right thing in the building. Do the right thing. All right, do the right thing. Well, yeah, brother. Do the right thing ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna get you up out of here, brother. Y'all gotta come through with it. Come through with it. Let's get John Horse in the building. John Horse, come on with it. Let's go with it. Mr. John Horse, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tariq?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. Hey, man. Hey, you ever think about doing stand-up comedy, bro? You funny. You funny as fuck, bro.
Man. What's going on with you, man? How you been, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Look, I just got 2 things I just wanted to talk about. With when it comes to the Diddy situation, I actually think they're targeting Diddy so that way, well, a lot of our our quote unquote black elites, I think they're specifically targeting him because he's to the point now where I think, they basically want to claw his wealth back so that way he doesn't pass it down to any of his sons. So,
Right.
they understand that Diddy's kind of, he's, turning away from the Democrats and he's speaking about black empowerment and how we need to have our own third party. And he was talking about funding his own candidates. So, they definitely don't want that. And then also too, I wanted you to talk about, like, I don't know if you spoke on it, but the hurricane that just passed through, I mean, that thing basically decimated a lot of those how can I put it, those rural towns. So I just kind of, wanted you to just speak on that. Like
Y-
the
Thank
government
you.
even paying attention to that.
Yeah, that hurricane out there in North Carolina. And you know what's and um, God bless everybody. You know, I don't like to see any devastation. That's not good. I don't like to see any suffering. A lot of people have died. There's a lot of devastation out there. But what's interesting, a lot of the North Carolina family's been saying that a lot of those little areas that's been getting hit were like some low key sundown towns. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to justify anybody getting harmed or whatever, but the North Carolina family, like, yeah, some of those places that's getting hit were not particularly friendly to black folks out there. This is what the family is saying out there in North Carolina. So it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I hope everybody's safe. Again, I don't want to see, I don't want to see people getting harmed and none of that stuff. You know. FBA goddess, Miss FBA goddess in the building. What's up, beloved? FBA.
Hey, Tariq, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. I was going to come up and talk about that very thing. I posted about that, I think about a couple days ago, how the towns that they did hit, they are sundown towns. A lot of them are. And a lot of them are coming at me because I pointed that out because somebody had a video and they spoke about that. And that is true. I live in North Carolina. I was born and raised here. So I do know that in the mountains of North Carolina is all white. They have a
Mm,
sprinkle of us there, but majority of those towns, if you go there, I've driven through there. None of us are around nowhere, even at the light, stoplight, no black people. So they are there, and they say trying to say that they're not sundown towns. That's what they're saying, trying to say now that they're not because it's some black people that live there. They are black people that live in sundown towns, whether they think we don't know that they are, but that still doesn't make it not a sundown town.
right. Yeah, because black people, yeah, they like let one or two in that they didn't vet it or whatever. But yeah, they would still be like, hey, all you strangers, y'all better be out of here by 6, you know. But yeah, that's real heavy. But listen, family. Yeah, I'm hearing this from the family out there in North Carolina. Man, they're saying that those areas, they were like low key sundown towns. And what's interesting, man, some of these places, some of the ancestral energy, ah, it's a vengeful energy out there, man. Um, Out here in California, man, y'all know when they had all those forest fires? It was one town that was infamous for being. It was a sundown town. Paradise, California. This town was infamous for harming black folks. Paradise, California. This place had a long, deep rooted anti black history, Klan rallies, the whole shebang. That joint 2018 burned to the damn ground. You dig? The whole town burned down. That shit burned to a crisp. That was the most, they said that's the deadliest, most destructive wildfire in California history. That shit burned to a crisp. The ancestors said, okay, I got this. The ancestors came through with that Majora revenge. Yeah. Y'all better understand how that Majora energy is real. It's real. You mess with them ancestors. That's why I pay respect to the ancestors. The ancestors, they come back now. Out there, and speaking of the Carolinas, in South Carolina, there was a plantation that got struck by lightning and burned down a few years ago. Out there in South Carolina, lightning struck it and it burned down. You think that wasn't the ancestors doing that? That's happened to a few plantations, by the way. Some of these tourist attractions, some of these plantations that are tourist attractions, I think that happened to a couple of plantations out there in Louisiana. Like a mysterious fire came through, some lightning struck it and burned the shit down. Well, come on, man. Sometimes you better show respect to them ancestors. Ask Lake Lanier. All right? Ask damn Lake Lanier. Every week somebody getting pulled up under that water at Lake Lanier. The ancestors ain't playing. You start messing with that ancestral energy and water, y'all better understand that combination. That ancestral energy mixed with water, because water carries memory. Water is a major energy conduit. It's a major energy conduit. That's why you see a lot of activity going on around where those plantations are and where there's water. The energy is very strong. That's why it's so strong down there in Louisiana. That's why I love Louisiana so much. Those ancestral energies mixed with all of that water out there, the swamp and all of that water. Um, it's real. It's deep. It's very, very deep. Let me get. 'Cause I've been on here for a long time. What time? We got? Damn, we are in here deep. We got 1,300 people in here in the middle of the night, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and chopping up. We do this every night. That's why y'all need to be following me. We chop it up like this every night, and we have great conversations. And you guys need to get books like Foundational Black American Race Baiter. That's one of my latest books. You can get that at officialfba.com. Officialfba.com. You can get your Foundational Black American flags, and also you can learn things about Foundational Black American culture from that website. You can learn things about the culture of Foundational Black Americans. All right. That's officialfba.com. Officialfba.com. All right, let's get Brother Corey in here. It's Corey. What's up, Corey? Brother Corey the Truth. What's up, Corey the Truth?
Good.
I can hear you. What's going on, Corey?
I'm all good, man. Just real quick, I just want to speak on this reparations thing. I know you have that thing in California, and unfortunately, um, some of our brothers and sisters got chickened out on that. But when it comes to reparations entirety, we are owed
Yeah.
reparations. Um, we are the brand new status quo.
Mm-hmm.
And white supremacy is done. We're going to
Yeah.
have to push way, way harder when it comes to reparations.
Oh, yeah.
And truth be told, we cannot let up. And like I said, white supremacy is undone, and we are the brand new status quo, and economic justice is the brand new status quo. Now I'm out. Peace.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. That's real talk. Real talk. Let me see who else we got here. Let's get Kanye. Let's get Kanye 2024 in the building. What's up, brother? Kanye?
What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind?
Man, you ever watch one of those commercials and it said if you've been hurt by Tariq Nasheed, you might be due for compensation? They have that floating around now, man. You hurting these guys' feelings. Every time they
Oh,
let them on the stage, they hold spaces about it for weeks. He's scared of me. It's like, bro, y'all not that important.
oh my God. Yeah, these tethers, boy, they got like some sense of grandeur that we give a damn about them. It's real. That's a projection because they sit around here talking about us all the time and they think that it's reciprocal. We really don't be thinking about them, dude, at all.
Man, I asked
Yeah.
them fools one question. I said, if y'all Pan African and y'all so pro black, why are y'all actively rooting against black people seeking justice? I mean, because we can all agree that white supremacy fucked us over, so we not just compensation like they said they was gonna give to us. So why are y'all pro black people rooting against it? And
Yeah.
they never gave me an answer on that. They just cried and you know said
Oh
I was
yeah.
a hater. But
Oh yeah. And they sit up, they when we get pushed back from these reparations task force and all that, these tethers be celebrating. Do y'all know how happy these tethers be when we get pushed back from the Gavin Newsoms and all these little reparations task force? They be having little victory laps. This is why I ain't with none of these folks who are on these task force agencies. The same folks that y'all see celebrating online, these are the same people with the same mindset that's on the task force. That's why we ain't getting nothing. That's why we got to get some straightening. And that's why they try to shame us because they know when we get them out the mix, we're going to start getting things done. We got to get those deceitful as tethers who want to undermine us. We got to get them out the damn mix, man. That's a problem. That is the problem. We can't let these people work as buffers for white supremacy. And then they tell us that we got to support them because we all black. Just like with Kamala. That's the whole thing with Kamala Harris. They know Kamala Harris has told us with her whole chest that she ain't gonna do nothing for black people. I ain't gonna do nothing that's only gonna benefit black people. This woman straight up and down told us what she ain't gonna do. But they're still trying to shame us into voting for her because we got some obligation to her fake blackness. That's why the whole conversation about Kamala being black, that's coming from the Democrats. That's all coming from them. with all of this, oh, I'm just so tired of talking about my race. The Democrats are the one who keep bringing it up. That's their talking point. That's them because they don't really have any other talking point. They have no other reason for us to support Kamala other than she's claiming to be black, or they're claiming that she's black. And now there's documents and proof coming out that her dad, who they're hanging this black thing on, looks like this guy has never identified as black. Yeah. So we're just not going for the Jedi mind trick. We're standing on lineage business. We're standing on lineage business. And that's what it is. Yeah. All right, should I get one more? Or should I get the hell up out of here? Because we still in here deep. All right, you know what? Let me get out of here because I'll be on here all night with these calls. But look, I thank everybody for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Go to officialfba.com to get my book, Foundation of Black American Race Baiter, and get Rootwork deodorant, the best deodorant in the game. It's a traditional deodorant based on our foundational Black American culture and heritage of root work. That is a distinctive part of foundational Black American culture that we are paying homage and respect to. That's why the deodorant is so phenomenal and everybody loves it. It has the High John the Conqueror root in it. That was a very important root for foundational Black Americans. Get that deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. I promise you, you will not be musty. Even GT and North, even they can use it. Those musty tethers can even use root work and smell good. So if those musty tethers can use it, you can use it and you're going to smell great. All right. I'm up out of here, guys. Go to rootworkstyle.com. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Puppy Akute and Lulavuve to the family. Peace.
Root work, feel that natural flow. Root work, stay fresh wherever you go. Root work, I like the way it feels. Root work, the magic is so real. Root work, you need it for work or play. Root work keeps me fresh through